curious, appreciative. This is a page from the Book of Kells. It is a masterwork of medieval art, packed with intricate detail that took years of manual labor to complete. Today, it stands as a monument to cultural preservation. Yet this manuscript only exists because of a brutal, high-casualty war fought over a plagiarized book in 560 AD. The conflict began with an Irish prince turned monk named Columba. A scholar of immense privilege, he secretly copied a rare psalter belonging to his master, Saint Finian. In the 6th century, religious texts were often protected in heavily guarded silver shrines like this one, known as a cathach. In an age before the printing press, books were nearly impossible to acquire. Because written word was the primary vehicle for faith and law, controlling these texts provided absolute political and spiritual authority. When Finian discovered the forgery, he demanded the copy. The dispute reached the High King of Ireland, Dermot, who issued the world's first recorded copyright ruling. To every cow belongs her calf, therefore to every book belongs its copy. Columba refused to accept the ruling. Instead, he called on his powerful northern clan alliances to rise up and challenge the High King's authority directly. The two factions collided at the Battle of Cúl Dreimhne. When the fighting stopped, 3,000 men were dead, all over a single manuscript. A local synod threatened Columba with excommunication for the loss of life. While he remained a monk, the church handed down a permanent sentence. He was exiled from Ireland and ordered to convert as many pagan souls as the 3,000 men he had killed. Columba's aristocratic pride cost him his homeland. He faced a lifelong banishment across the sea to pay a blood debt that seemed impossible to fulfill. In 563 AD, Columba and 12 followers washed ashore on Iona, a tiny windswept rock off the western coast of Scotland. This map shows the political layout of early Scotland. Iona was a calculated choice. It sat on the border between Columba's Irish kin, the Dál Riata, and the powerful Pictish kingdom to the north. From this outpost, Columba built a highly organized operation. He established a scriptorium to transcribe texts, and his influence extended into the mainland as he brokered peace treaties among rival tribal factions. Columba had engineered a geopolitical hub, turning Iona's specific location into a platform for projecting power across divided borders. To protect his island, Columba needed political recognition from Bridei I, the intimidating king of the Picts. Later myths of this mission are filled with magic. Hagiographies claim that while traveling to the king's fortress, Columba banished a ferocious water beast in the River Ness, the first recorded sighting of what we now call the Loch Ness monster. The historical reality was a matter of statecraft. The Picts possessed a sophisticated military culture, and King Bridei realized the advantage of having a literate, neutral diplomat on his border. He granted Columba safe conduct. Columba began paying his blood debt by brokering stability between warring tribes, grounding his new church in political survival and calculated diplomacy. Columba died in 597 AD, but his system endured. Over the next 2 centuries, Iona became the intellectual capital of the Celtic world. By the year 800, the monks of Iona were pouring their artistic evolution into a massive new gospel manuscript, representing the height of the island's creative output. That progress was halted by Viking raiders. In 806 AD, Norse attackers targeted the island for its wealth, massacring 68 monks on the shore. The surviving brothers abandoned the sanctuary. They packed what they could and fled back to Ireland, carrying their unfinished manuscript with them. The same coastal isolation that made Iona a perfect hub for diplomats eventually made it a target for raiders coming from the sea. The refugees settled at the monastery at Kells in central Ireland. Behind these inland walls, they finally completed the manuscript that would take the town's name, the Book of Kells. The manuscript remains in Dublin today, serving as the definitive physical record of the era's craftsmanship. On the island of Iona, the Abbey has rebuilt its walls, continuing to stand as a center for peace and community. The foundation of early Christian Scotland and the craftsmanship within its most famous book were not born from quiet devotion alone. They are the artifacts of a prince who started a war over a stolen copy.